Hi, welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I'm just going to work in my journal today, and I thought I'd bring you along. It's July 2023. I'm not current, but I am on the current week. So that's a start, sort of, kind of. Yeah, almost. Well, we're working in the current week. How's that? It is, let's see, I'm starting with Monday the 10th. This is prompt week from Lydia at February and June. She puts on prompt week once a month, and we're going to start here. So we're going to start with Monday the 10th. I think I have that right. Yes. And I started to go ahead and do my backgrounds before I turned on the camera, and I was like, you know what? Why? I know that you probably love to watch me do backgrounds, right? It's exciting. Let's see. I hope you have enough light. Might do this one a little different. Well, a little different. Not really. This is just one of those Crayola markers. And it will work. I have my inks here too, but I thought since I had this red one out and I wanted red for this one, why not, right? I don't know if the colors will be as intense, but we are about to find out. With red, I don't necessarily want it that intense anyway. So, you know, because red can be really dark sometimes. So, where are you in your journals? Are you current? Actually, I'm picking up right where I left off, I think on the last Journal With Me video. So, it's not too bad. I went back and did a couple pages. Let's see. Yeah, I don't want red for Tuesday. What do I want for Wednesday? Well, I can do Wednesday. I want yellow for Tuesday. But I want to just pass off some of this red, or, you know, not pass it off, but use it, right? Eraser. Reach around the camera instead of through the camera. Yeah, I think that, I think yellow will work for Tuesday. This is actually coming across as a little bit pink, and that's quite all right. And Thursday, let's see, there's the Inspired to Create. Well, I have it. Let's use it. No, I don't want red on this one. Darn it. Okay. That's all right. I have some. Let me flip back to here so it can be open and drying. And I'm going to wipe this up. Well, sure, because red and purple go so well together, right? It's dry, so it shouldn't mix. Although this does, like I said, it does look pretty pink, so it should not be a problem. And then I'll just wipe the rest of it up. And put that to the side so it can dry. I think it was this side. It's hard to tell which side of this plastic the ink is on. So, well, you saw me last video stick my hand right in it. I want yellow for Tuesday because that is what the prompt is. Something yellow that you saw today, or however it's worded. I'll read it in just a minute. I have, well, let's see if I can find, not worth digging for that far. So this is just a cheap vol color, whatever, cheap watercolor marker. Do not remember where I got them. It could possibly be Amazon. I've had them for a long time though. So, I I have had a relatively, well, I started to say boring week. Let's go with quiet. Well, sort of. I mean, I did some stuff, but I've just been there's been several days that I've just been home, and I am totally okay with that. I had fallen, I think I mentioned it in the last video. I had fallen, I think it was Sunday, outside. So I spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday pretty sore. I'm not injured. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. My ego, I don't want to say pride. Yeah, my feelings were hurt, I guess. I'm trying to find the right word, y'all. I didn't fall that far. It was what I fell on. And it just bruised my back and pulled something in my neck, kind of in my shoulder blade. So it was more, you know, sore than anything else. So no need to involve doctors or anything like that. It wasn't that significant or that serious. But after I came in when I came inside after I fell and was kind of licking my wounds, then a little while later my husband came in and he was doubled over. He was trying to finish what we were doing when I fell, and yeah, I think he took the brunt of it, even though he didn't fall. He said he just moved the wrong way. But anyway, that's not very dark, but I think it'll be okay. So this is not completely dry. And look, I remembered, I put not only the minis in here, but I put my numbers and everything so I don't have to fiddle for them every time. And I thought I might have these cut out by the time. I have been in here working in my journal a little bit. I'm making a point to do that off camera a little bit more, especially when I get behind, rather than feeling like I have to video every second of my journal. Because sometimes I just need to work in it and collect my thoughts and figure out what I need to dig out. And, you know, I actually was getting some writing done in the previous days, so I'm trying to stay a little more current with that. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I worked a little bit in this. I got the second done and the third, and this is part of the fourth. I still have some stuff to put on there. I haven't done those days, but I'm just going to start clean and go back. You know, I'm just going to do this week. And hopefully I'll get a little bit of that done too. I don't know how much I'll get done in this video, but I'm sure going to give it a whirl. It'd be nice if I could do a week in a video. I think I have everything ready, other than I didn't have this stuff cut out and I didn't have my backgrounds. So had I had that, you know, I might, but we're just going to play. I've got about an hour before my husband comes home from work, and we're just going to play, and what I get done, I get done. And that will be just fine. Okay. Have that. And I cleaned up my floor a little bit. Okay. Let me disclaimer that. I cleaned up the little bits of paper scraps on the floor, part of the floor that I can see. I did not like vacuum or anything like that. I probably should have. I had the vacuum out today, and I did vacuum the living room. I kind of have to do that just a little bit at a time. And so, you know, I said to the craft room, today ain't your day. Maybe tomorrow. But, sorry, making racket. Find my little glue sheet here, or my parchment paper. It's about time for a new one, and it's almost time for a new glue stick. But we're gonna see if we can make this one work through this video. and see what we get done. But I've missed prompt week. I actually even put the things in my journal a couple of the days in June, but I didn't have my stuff ready, you know, as far as like, for example, this one is, I don't want that to get too far away because that's my whole week. And I don't know why that didn't print in order, but it didn't. This is Monday. And it says, what was the most nourishing thing you ate today? I was like, darn, am I going to have to eat something healthy? Which I think the answer that I was given was nourishing for, there's nourishing for your body and there's nourishing for your soul. And I loved that response. But I happened to actually eat something that was relatively nourishing. Let's see, I don't want that to stray too far away. It's Tuesday, Wednesday. Put that there. Let me go ahead and get Tuesdays. I'm hoping to get to Thursday, or at least Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If I get Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then I'm okay. But that's what I'm aiming for. So this was also, well, let me get my act together here. I had it together and then I put it down. Anybody else do that? Have your act together and then you put it down somewhere? Okay. So, I had some Chobani yogurt, which I love. That was my lunch. That's what happens when you're home by yourself and you don't feel like fixing anything. Yep. But I also made a pot of soup. Here we go. So, that was nourishing as well. Here we go. This is going to represent me cooking. I already had it printed up and it was ready to go. I said, well, that will, I mean, I have like magazine images of pots of soup that I have saved for such occasions. And then every time I make soup, I can't find what I did with those pages. So I just use whatever I have handy. Or, you know, if I've, you know, printing off a whole page full or something like that, then I'll print something new. But anyway, okay, so we're going to, there was one other thing I did that day. Where is it? Oh, I filmed, well, filmed that. My calendar video that day, I think, if I remember correctly. So how is July going for you? Journal and life in general. Okay, so I haven't responded to the comments. I know I asked a question about the sewing machine and some of you gave me some great ideas. The easiest thing to try, but I had to wait till I got one. The easiest thing to try was to change the needle. Now, I don't know why the needle would have been dull on it or bent or anything like that. But it might have helped. I was also having the issue of the bottom threads coming up over the top. Now, I've adjusted the tension every which way I know how to adjust it. So I don't think it was just that, but the the bobbin needle. The other thing I did is I turned the bobbin around. And so that and changing the needle, and I actually got it one zigzag line. I haven't like tried to really sew anything yet. I was just had a piece of practice paper. And yeah, so that's what I did. So I'm hoping that my sewing machine crisis is taken care of. So now I have, let's see, these little things right here, which I don't really need if I have that, but I have them, I might as well use them, right? This was something that I drew, I don't know, last year maybe. Just these little YouTube icons. And then I don't really have much to talk about or write on this day, so I was glad that this was prompt week. Oh, I do have because I did not, making that soup was very difficult. I was glad I already had my when I pick carrots and stuff like that and celery and all that, I go ahead and cut them up and then freeze them. I blanch them and then freeze them. And I was glad I didn't have to stand and chop anything or whatever. But I did make the broth, and I had to go outside one time and pick. I use all my own herbs. So I went out and I picked some rosemary and sage and thyme and, oh, what else did I use? I don't know, whatever I can find. And I had some, I use parsley a lot because I grow it and it grows plentifully. Plentifully, is that a word? And so, I put that, like the parts that you don't use. My daughter's mom, parsley is a garnish, not a food. I said, no, actually it's a herb. We call them herbs. Some people call them herbs. But anyway, it gives your broth a lot of flavor. So like the stems and stuff like that you don't use much, I put them in with my chicken and my other herbs, and I boil them down. And same with like the celery leaves and the tops that you don't use. So anyway, luckily I had all that already cut up, because otherwise there would have been no soup making that day. So, okay, I think I'm ready to glue them on. I quit, just hush and glue it down, or I'm never going to get to Wednesday or Thursday. So, but anyway, I was extremely sore this day especially, and very bruised, and yeah, so I was, and so was my husband. He, bless his heart, he went to work doubled over. And he came home for a little while at lunch, and then, or like midday for a little while. And we're both sharing and alternating ice packs and heating pad, and we look like quite a sight. So, let's see, where do I want that? Sure, why not? And I'll put this right here. You know, I could use this other glue stick for this stuff. I probably should be doing that. Should. We know what we say about shoulds. But I think I will. This is that Pen and Gear one. It's iffy on whether or not it sticks sometimes. I haven't quite found the... I like the way it glides on, but it doesn't always stick some surfaces. So, I know I did that, and I know I did this. Well, this is that, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna glue everything in. See, it's not really wanting to I really want to use you because I really like the way it glides on, but it doesn't really want to. It's just a suggestion, you know. It's like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Okay, I'm going to try to glue stuff down, and then I'm going to go back and add my lines and do some decorative stuff if I have time. Tuesday is document something yellow from today. Well, Tuesday, well, both days I was a homebody. But this day, I'm definitely going to use that somewhere. I have a yellow zinnia, which is the first year that I've had these, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So I have that, and I have this. Let me see. I'll cut it out. Okay. And this is the first one of two. I'm learning to draw digital stained glass. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Or in a little bit, I think. That's my plan anyway. But I just want to get through Tuesday. You know, not like skip over it or anything like that. I also have my banana sheets. I still haven't listed these. What I'd like to do is, because these are kind of big, they're probably about 2 to 3 inches. I want to go back and add some small ones in the spaces, so that if you want this, I'll put it in my Etsy shop, and that way you have different sizes. So I haven't gone back and made those changes yet. So after I do that, I will list them. Let's see. But this was yellow, so I wanted it on the page as well. I did not draw this day. I already had this drawn. But I did enjoy yellow banana. There. Oop. Stuck to my finger. Okay. But when I print out stuff, I don't like to waste all those little spaces, so I figure you don't either. But this is a, I'm assuming it's either an orange or a lemon slice. It's kind of a yellowish orange. And if you look real close, I think you can see it. The texture has like a stained glass background, and the black lines are like 3D, like the lead. And I drew that day. And we have, well, let me cut the borders off. If they're on all 4 sides, I like them. If they're not, then they get cut off. Oh, I need my 11. Normally, I would mix and match, and I would match up my, I would have chosen like a day and a number that was kind of yellowish, but I decided, since I made this July kit, that I'm just going to use it the whole month. And I'm okay with it not matching, because it matches my journal, right? So, and let's see, what else, what other, if you're in the US, what other red, white, and blue holiday do we have that comes up? Labor Day, Veterans Day. I don't know. These would be good for Memorial Day. All of those kind of, I don't know that Veterans Day is necessarily a red, white, and blue holiday. I think I just associate red, white, and blue with all of that. That might just be my association, not everybody else's. Okay. So I think I'm just going to put this here, because I've just been a homebody this week. Now, I did go out to Wednesday and Thursday. But, you know, the rest of the week I've just been at home. And why, might I ask, why you ask, did I not work in my journal and make videos? Well, I did make that one video Monday, but I'm telling you, I was sore. This chick was hurting. Well, my mom used to say, hurting for certain. So I was not in the mood to do anything. So I got on a drawing kick because I could sit on the couch and watch Christmas movies and Little House on the Prairie. And if your last name isn't Ingalls or Olsen, I hadn't been paying a lick of attention to you. I'm sorry. I apologize, but I went into this little time warp thing, and I've been somewhere living on a prairie for the last several days or week. So, my apologies. I did get caught up on comments at some point, but I think that was like over the weekend or the very beginning of the week. And I have done very little of that this week, and I do apologize for that. But, oh, and my Instagram was down for a while. Yesterday and the day before, it gave me one of those, somebody from another country tried to log into your whatever, and you need to do this and that and that and the other, and stand on your head and tap your foot 3 times, and you know that stuff that you have to do to get your password back, or before it'll let you change your password. I'm like, I didn't want to have to change my password. I liked the one I had. Well, for starters, I had to remember the one I had before it would let me change the password. So, anybody else have issues with Instagram lately? So, I just was not in the mood for that stuff. I wasn't, the only thing technical I wanted to be doing was drawing on my iPad. So, yeah, that would have looked better with something yellow and orange and whatever, but that's okay. I'm trying to simplify things, not get so hung up on the matchy-matchy. And, all right, so we have Wednesday. This is the 12th. Okay, it's not what I thought it was. Oh, I know what I did. Let me see where I'm at on time. Okay. Wednesday, I want to get to Thursday. And I might skip. What was the most surprising thing you heard today? That's Wednesday's prompt. Well, I will tell you right now, probably the most surprising thing I heard. I worked the clinic this day. And, or, you know, volunteer at the clinic. And it stormed really bad. I mean, like, we got like 12, 14 inches of rain in an hour kind of storm. You know, one of those, what we call a frog floater. And, so I ended up staying a little longer than I had planned, which was not good because I was really sore. I was really hurting. But anyway, I wanted to wait until the weather let up a little bit because it gets really, really gnarly in a hurry. And all of a sudden we heard pop. I mean, this really loud pop in the clinic. I know lightning hit something in that clinic. Like, we have like electric room, or like where the computers and the cameras, you know, all that electronic stuff is. And the guy that was in there working that does all of that, he came out and his eyes were like as round as saucers. And I said, well, your hair is not curly, so you must be okay. And he's like, he was fine, but it was, he definitely looked a little shell-shocked, but we never could figure out what had hit. And we didn't, you know, smell anything fire-wise or electrical or anything like that. So we figured eventually, you know, maybe eventually we'll figure out what it was that popped. So, I mean, it was really loud and it was a really sharp pop. And I guess it could have been outside, but it sure sounded like it came from that room. And he thought it came from that room too, because he was in the room. So I have a big old lightning bolt for that day. Now, lightning doesn't make sound, you say? No. But when it's really close by and the boom, pop, bam comes like simultaneously, then it sure sounds like lightning makes a sound. I guess when it causes something to crack or pop, it does. But I figured that this would represent that well enough. And yes, I could have drawn a lightning bolt on here, and I probably should have in hindsight. But I had extra room. I was printing a page of clip art and pictures and stuff. So I figured, well, I had some room. I might as well just print one. And, yeah. So that way I didn't forget it. And you didn't have to sit here and watch me search for something in a magazine or a whatever. Let's see. I think I'm going to put it here, and then I'm going to do my little clinic. I may have to come back and do that because I'm not sure where it is. And I went and saw my little friend. Let's see. Let me dig for a second. I said I wasn't going to dig, but I'm digging. Here we go. I'll use that. Oh, yeah, my little house on the prairie. Yes, I already had that. I could have probably... Well, we didn't actually have a tornado warning. Oops. Oh. Let me just peek. Hold on. Need that vacuum for today. Alright, that was not what I was... Oh, that's because... Wow. I forget about these. That's because they're already cut up and they are nice and neatly in this little filing system that I have. Wow, what do you know? What do you know? I need to do that with the rest of my stuff, I guess. But when I just print it out right before I come make a video, I don't really feel like, or right before I'm journaling, I don't feel like I should have to, you know, cut it all out and then put it in a little file thingy just so that I can, you know, dig it right back out again. But I forget about that now. But things that I do on a regular basis, I do. I just need to refill them so that I don't have to print everything every time. Alrighty, let's see. Come on, glue stick. I really am rooting for you. I really want you to work because I do like you. You're a great size. And yeah, and you glide on so smooth. So I'm really rooting for you. And I like the teal color. And they are a hair cheaper than the Scotch Create. But man, that Scotch Create is good stuff. It's good stuff. It ranks up there with my Art Glitter Glue. It's the Art Glitter Glue of glue sticks, in my opinion. So, for what that's worth. Alrighty. Do I have one already cut out. And it's big. Okay. Good deal, good deal. Well, I need to trim it down a little bit because I did a wonky job of cutting it, but other than that, it's already cut out. Oh, so I'm going to move on to Thursday. And because that's kind of an exciting day in my family. It's not a birthday. Well, it's kind of a birthday. Well, I'll tell you when I get there. All right. I guess I could call her Miss Sue. Would that work? And you would know who I'm talking about? The little lady that I go and visit. She does not knit, by the way. She does not crochet. She does not knit. She may have in her lifetime, but she's 92. She says, I'm 92. I can do what I want. So, there's that. And then now we're on to Thursday. The 13th. So, I have a couple of things. This is, oh yeah, I was going to put that on here too. Okay. Anyhow, oh, I didn't do the background for this day. I forgot I wanted green for this background, I think, and that's why I was not liking that I had just put red on there. Let me find my, for Thursday, although the prompt, the little clip art for the prompt that day is red. Okay, so I skimmed over from some stuff on Tuesday that I need to go back and tell you about. Tuesday, I think. But anyway, so I'm on Thursday now. Yep. So, this is my sister's 5th Lungaversary. This was her cake at her first Lungaversary. And if you're not familiar with a Lungaversary, 5 years ago yesterday, actually last night and into this morning, because it was about a 10-12 hour surgery, she had a double lung transplant. And if you are familiar with or know anything about transplants, especially lungs, I think, but I believe this goes with any transplant, making it to 5 years is a huge deal. This was right after she woke up from surgery. Well, no, that's not true. This was about 3 days later, when they took her, took her intubation, took her off the ventilator. And she still had was still like forced air in her nose and feeding tubes and chest tubes and all the things. But I've never seen so many. There was like this whole wall of IV and contraptions and stuff behind us right there. But anyway, so this is a special day for us. We made it. And yes, it is we, because it was definitely a group effort. You know, she had to raise so much money before they would even put her on a transplant list, and all those things. And so, you know, we being my family and friends and anybody that I know, all pitched in, and we did several different fundraisers, like In a Hurry. And yeah, so today's prompt for Thursday, not today, for Thursday's prompt is document something you're feeling proud of right now. So I'm very proud of her. That has been a long voyage for her. Well, I'm going to put this right here because this says yippee to 5th year of healthy lungs. And so I'm very proud of her. And you have to have 2 caregivers to be transplanted, or at least with a lung transplant. I don't know. Oh, I never did do my other background. Oh well, I'll just use my I was going to use my green highlighter. Because green was the color. You can see the colors in our shirts. Well, what did I do with that picture? I don't know. I'll have to find it. But I had designed, I was making t-shirts at the time. And so that was one of the fundraisers. Was I made t-shirts, and then, you know, it was like a donation and you got a shirt. And the design that I made for the shirts had green, they were bright green shirts, lime green shirts. I just had a picture right here. See our shirts? And it said, the hashtag was second win for Jen. And because her name's Jennifer. And it said, breathing with a purpose. And it had lungs on them. And so I was running at that time, like jogging for exercise. And I was pretty in shape at the time. And it came to me when I was running one day after she had told me she was being listed. And so that was how the breathing with a purpose, because I felt like it wasn't fair that I could breathe and she couldn't. And so I felt like I was breathing with a purpose, you know. My daughter had said that to me one time. She says she doesn't remember saying it, but like I must have been getting a little anxious or something one time. It was a long time ago. And you know how you take that deep breath and, you know, or whatever. And she's like, "What's wrong, Mom? You're breathing with a purpose." And that kind of stuck with me. And anyway, that was the story behind that. So it's a very special day for us. And we're very proud of her. We're happy and blessed to have her with us still. We had a little bit of a scare a couple months ago. And she had to go back in for some testing and make sure that she wasn't in rejection. But they said that it was still looked pretty good. So anyway, we really are grateful for, you know, because there's many people, and some of them that we've met personally. We actually have another family member that had a double lung transplant. He was 11 when he had his, and he did not make it his 5th year. He passed away at 4.5 years. But, you know, he lived a lot in that 4.5 years. And, you know, at first I thought, wow, that's a lot to go through just to get a few more years. But now I know, seeing how when I got sick and I was on oxygen for 6 months, I have a new appreciation for not being able to breathe. When you can't breathe, you can't do much of anything. And so, you know, she would not have lived another, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so had she not gotten the transplant. So when you're faced with that, I think you do just about anything. I'm looking for my 13. I must not have had it out. So I have a new appreciation for a lot of things going through this process with her, and then, you know, with my own illness. And so, you know, you can't know what you don't know. So, but for her first, the biggest milestone is making it, like, through the surgery. Then it's the first 24 hours is critical. Then the first 72 hours. And then the first 3 months. And then making it to that first year is a big deal. So for everything, there was this, like, grand, you know, this big milestone. And it was very miraculous to see. I remember I have this video posted on Facebook or whatever. And it's of the machines, and it's actually like lungs that are expanding and whatever. And when I was sitting with her, we got to see her shortly after the surgery, and she was not awake or anything like that. but we got to see her briefly, and it was so eye-opening, to say the least, to realize that she was breathing with lungs that were in another human being like less than 24 hours before that, you know. And that's a really humbling thought, reality. And it's very, very special, very miraculous that they can even do that. So I was honored to be a part of that. I was her, could not be her primary caregiver. You had to have a primary caregiver and then a runner-up, a backup caregiver. So her primary caregiver, which was my niece, had to live with her for 3 months over there. The hospital was about 6 hours away. She was at Shands. And anyway, it was a, you know, they had to live over there so they'd be close enough to do all of her, all the things that she'd have to do for the first 3 months. And she still has to go back every so many months. Alrighty, so that is that. Trying to figure out, feeling proud of. There's one other thing that I did that day that I was kind of proud of myself. I don't say that very often, I don't think. And this was another one of those stained glass. It was, every once in a while I'll make something that I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. So here, you're not going to get the full effect on it on a printed whatever, but it was a poinsettia that I had drawn. So after we drew this little lemon thingy, this orange slice or lemon slice, then the next project was to take a piece of art that we had already drawn, an existing piece of art, and turn it into stained glass. Not real stained glass, digital, you know, where it looks like stained glass. So I had drawn this poinsettia because I'm drawing some Christmas stuff right now, trying to get ready for, you know, that season. And anyway, I don't know if you can see all the stained glass detail in that, but it was really fun to do. So I'm going to put it on this page too. You know, I don't know if I'd call that proud. I don't use that word a whole lot. Not in reference to myself, I guess. Maybe other people. I don't know. Anyway, I was pleased with how it turned out. Let's say it that way. And I was very happy with, you know, the fact that I could do it. A very good teacher too. So, you know. Which leads me back to what I skipped over on Tuesday accidentally. I joined, oh, this is a necklace that I got her. I don't think she watches my videos, and this shouldn't post until tomorrow, so I don't want her to see it until I give it to her. So I don't think she'll be watching this. At least not until, you know, after that. But anyway, this was a necklace that I had gotten. I'm going to give it to her tomorrow. We're having a celebration tomorrow. Over the weekend. So anyway, I joined Art Makers Club. It's run by Lisa Bardot. And I've already, when I first got my iPad, what, 3 years ago now? I had started following her on YouTube. And she designs her own brushes and things like that. And last year, you know, then you know, you all know my story. I'm not going to go into it again. I couldn't hold the eye pencil, you know, when I couldn't use my hand right. And so I didn't draw for a while. And then especially, it took me even longer to get back to where I could draw on the iPad. So last year she started this art makers club, and I did not see the point in joining if I couldn't draw along with them. And so this year she was having, this is like their first birthday, and she was having, running some special to join. And so I did it. And that's where I learned the first tutorial I did was the, and these are her drawings, not mine. This is some stickers, some digital stickers that she gave us to use, I'm assuming. Anyway, she just did a digital scrapbook class this day, and I missed it. I cannot believe I did that. I mean, I can go back and catch the replay, but I wanted to catch the live. But anyway, and then she talks about the clubhouse. And so, anyway, I wanted to put that in on my Tuesday. So this is her artwork. And yeah. So that's my first lesson was stained glass. That was the first thing I chose to do. So, you know, you don't have to do them in any particular order, but that fascinated me. So I was very happy to learn that technique. Okay. So, I have been having a lot of fun with that. And let's go this way. And I love this little clubhouse, the little tree house, clubhouse. That's what she calls the website, or the, you know, the main, yeah, website for all her art maker club members. So, where are we at on time? Yep, I think we're about done. That's been my week. Today's Friday. I won't worry about doing Friday. I will tell you this, and then I was going to tell you the prompt for Friday. Oh, if I can find it. I think it's what's the best thing that you smelled all day? The day's not over, but so far coffee wins. I cannot believe I cannot find. Well, you can help me find it. Oh, and I need to go back and put those on some days too. Those two. Okay, boy, I forgot all kinds of stuff. That's all right. It happens. I wouldn't worry about it, except I printed it off to put on the page, and then I didn't. It's probably sitting right in front of me. I mean, there's Friday, the date, but I was looking for the actual, this little thing right here. This thing. This is Friday. See, I'm on the wrong day already. Yeah, this is Friday. So I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, that's going to drive me nuts. Where did it go? Anyway, I'm pretty sure that it is what is the best thing that you've smelt all day or today. And here it is. Yes. Friday is smell. She does the senses. Like, what did you taste? What did you see? What did you hear? What did you, you know, whatever. Your 5 senses. And so this one is smell. What's the best smelling thing from your day? Well, I don't know. It might be dinner. Because I did put dinner in the oven before I started the video, just so that it would be done. And, you know, I don't even have to use those actually. But, so I put coffee, or I printed out this little coffee cup. And I really should probably try to draw some of these prompts. And I probably will. But for right now, that's where I'm going to leave you. And I will, see, I went back and I did some writing. Some of my writing, I finished that day and that day. This was when my daughter was still in town. I love this. This came in junk mail. It was like a happy birthday to you, you know, from something you don't care about, you know. And so, anyway, I'm getting there. I think I still have the 6th and 7th to do. I don't think I finished those, but, and then I need to fill this in, and then I'll come back in and fill in. I don't have time to do that today, but I will start filling some of that in. I got to figure, it's harder for me to figure out what to put on these little squares than it is on the page where I have plenty of room. But anyway, if you're not an organ donor, please consider it. Your organ donation, if you're an organ donor, you can save up to, what, 7 lives and allow someone to see again and all those wonderful things. And so our family has been touched by 2 organ donations at this point, and yeah, it's pretty special. It's pretty special to witness and to be a part of. So if you aren't, at least look into it and let your loved ones know your wishes if you are. And all right, I'm going to leave you there, and you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you sometime this weekend. Bye-bye.